you have a strap. I mean, you don't necessarily need it, but I do have a plan for a strap at the very end for our last bit. So dog leash, belt. So we'll start seated. Sit nice and tall. And sitting on a blanket or a block, any way that's comfortable for you. And you can let your eyes close or just relax your gaze. Relax your jaw, your eyes, your face. And take a deep breath in. And let it go. Breathe all the way down towards the earth, down through the legs. And get grounded in your seat. And with your inhalation, grow tall, lengthening through the spine. Breathing lots of space in between the ribs. Lots of space around the heart on all sides. Keep lengthening through the throat and the crown. And keep that inner lift, that fullness as you exhale. Relax the shoulders on the back of the heart. And drop into Ujjayi Pranayama, a gentle tone in the back of the throat. You can imagine that you're fogging a mirror, but keep your lips closed. Bring your attention to the pelvis and the base of the spine. And you're going to inhale up the back side of the body, all the way up to the crown. And your exhale goes down the front of the body, back towards the pelvic floor. Inhaling up the back side of the body, so it's this sort of loop. Inhaling up the back side of the body, through the middle back, between the shoulder blades. I like to imagine like a blow dryer blowing up the back side of the body. And then through the crown of the head, over the top of the head, let it pour down the front of your body as you exhale. And then looping through the pelvis to the back side of the body. Inhale up the back side of the body. Exhale, pouring down the front of the body. Let's take a couple more rounds, inhaling up the back side of the body, all the way through the top of the head, and then pouring over the face, down the front of the body. Exhale. One more big inhale up the back side of the body. Exhale, pouring down the front of the body. Well, next time you breathe in, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just take a moment to pause and feel the effects of that breath work. And take this time to set an intention for your practice, to make an offering or a prayer. And I'm going to offer the metta phrases, the loving kindness. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. May I be safe and protected. May I be loved and filled with ease. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. We'll chant one Om together. Bring the hands to the heart as you Om. bow your head towards your heart. And release your hands. Beautiful. We're going to start seated, but you'll be sitting on your heels. So sitting on your heels, or you can take the block under your bum. You could also have like a blanket between your knees if it kind of hurts the knees a little bit. And just start with some big shoulder rolls. So inhale, rolling the shoulders up and back and really trying to get that full range of motion in the shoulders. And then start to bring the elbows into it, big circles with the elbows. And then the whole arm, stretch the arms, spread the fingers. Again, play with the range of motion and the shoulders. Take up a lot of space. And then just reversing that. So forward roll. I kind of like to do one at a time sometimes when I'm going forward, so you can play with that. And then the elbows. And the whole arm. Just let the torso kind of do whatever feels good. The head can do whatever feels good. And then clasp your fingers, reach your palms up to the sky, and just take a little wiggle side to side. Maybe you do a little bit of a spiral with the ribs, kind of intuitive movement here, whatever your body needs. Sort of a little cat and cow action with the spine, open the heart, bow in. And then interlace the fingers at the low back. You could hook your thumbs or clasp your fingers. And if you can't quite reach the fingers, get your strap here. Roll the shoulders onto the back of the heart. So try not to lock the elbows, have a bend in the elbows. Pull your hands apart a little bit. So if you have your strap, you're kind of pulling it apart. And feel how that kind of pulling the fingers apart can help open the chest just a little more. So some of you might like to pull the knuckles off the hips even more. And some of you might like to drop your head towards the floor, towards child's pose. You might not need your block there. And reach the knuckles up and over, but let your head land. So maybe you need the block under your head. Reach the knuckles up and over, and you can kind of go up and down a little bit. So try to keep pulling the wrists towards each other, but spread the fingers apart, like pull the fingers apart. And feel free to rock a little bit, maybe roll a little bit side to side on your eyebrows. And then inhale, lift the heart, just shake that out a little bit. And come to hands and knees. So you might like to have a blanket under your knees. Just for a little extra padding. Just get right into big circles with the hips. Spread the fingers, really push the knuckles and finger pads down. Just start to play with this big, just taking up a lot of space with your body. And no right or wrong, forward and back, zigzag, spiral. Nice big inhale. And long exhale. And then back to hands and knees. We'll play with a little bit of core stability here. So spread the fingers and tuck the toes. Take your right toes to the floor. Try not to wiggle the hips. Stay super stable in the hips. So the toes to the floor. and the left fingertips to the floor. Kind of reach them forward a little bit. Pull the ribs into the body, stabilize the pelvis, and then lift the arm and the leg as high as your torso. And then slowly tap it down. So do that 2 more times. Inhale, stretch your arms apart, stabilize the pelvis, ribs in. Exhale, tap. And 1 more. Inhale, really spread the toes, spread the fingers, stretch your body long. Lift the skin on the heart just a little bit. Exhale, hand down, knee down, and switch sides. So take a deep breath in, stabilize the torso, ribs stay in the body, reach your left heel back, right fingertips forward, and then just kind of regroup. Hug the pelvis, the outer hips in. Inhale, lift slowly. Exhale, tap. And you're just trying to stay super stable and still in your torso. Lots of core strength to not have that kind of swaying around. Do 1 more. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it down. And then shake it out. So we'll do that a little bit faster and you'll switch sides. So inhale, stretch the arm and the leg. And then exhale, just switch. Inhale. And just play with noticing where your hips want to sway, where your body tends to have it. It's like release valve, it's brakes. And then come all the way back to child's pose. Let your hips land on your heels. Let your forehead touch the earth. Make a pillow with your hands. Or let your head land on the earth and take a big inhale up the back side of the body. And your exhale is pouring down the front of the body towards the pelvis. 1 more. Inhale up the back side of the body like air is blowing up the whole back side. Exhale down the front of the face towards the pelvis. Bring the hands out in front. Come up to downward dog. Tuck your toes. Reach your hips up and back. Just play with any wiggling you like to do. First downward dog of the class, maybe of your day. Get super strong in your arms. Really pushing the knuckles down. Spread the toes, make the feet really strong. Any little wiggling, maybe sway the hips or pedal out the feet. Try not to lock the knees, so we're reaching the hips up as high as you can. The energy of the legs moves down towards the earth, but don't lock the knees just to get the heel down. So keep the strength in the legs. The sit bones reaching up, your spine. You're really pushing your hands down and forward. Get super long in the spine. And then walk your hands to your feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Lift and spread the toes again. Just regrounding through the feet. Inhale halfway up. Hands can go wherever feels good to you. Really feel your heart pulling through the arms. Exhale, let the heart lead the way and the head bows in. 2 more, super strong legs. Halfway up on your in-breath. Keep the ribs in the body. Let your heart smile. Exhale, bowing in. Think about the breath moving up the backside. Inhale from the pelvis up the backside of the body through the crown. And then exhale, as you bow in, the breath moves through the front of the body up towards the hips. And then walk yourself forward to plank pose. Take your feet just a little bit wide to be stable. And you could always bring your knees down for this, what we're gonna play with. So take your right leg just as high as your hip. Pull the ribs in the body, nice and strong and stable. And then put it down. Other side, left leg up as high as your hip. Try not to wobble the hips. Pretend you're squeezing a block between your legs. Foot down. And then now take your feet apart a little bit if you brought them back together. Come onto the right fingertips. And then put your hand back down. And left fingertips. Don't let the hips tip. And then left hand down, come all the way to your belly, chaturanga. Slowly open the heart, roll the shoulders on the back. This cobra, nice and easy. Peel the heart open, claw your hands, drag your ribs forward. But from behind your ribs, stretch through the toes and slowly let the ears pull back. And then down dog, however you get there. Nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Push through your hands, push through your feet. Stay here. Inhale to plank. Take your feet a little bit wide again. We're going to play with just the arms. So always you can bring the knees down. Take your left arm straight back towards your hips. Straight out towards the side like an airplane. So knees down, it would look like this. And then right by your ear, stretch it strong. Right hand down. Other side. Left hand by your hips. Straight out like an airplane. Straight forward by your ear. Put it down, chaturanga. Inhale, open your heart, cobra or up dog or sphinx pose. Just always staying really strong in the core. So you can open the heart, get the shoulders on the back. Down dog when you're ready, no rush. Nice deep breath in. Relax your face. Maybe wiggle out the head a little bit. Take your right leg up to the sky. Keep the knee and toe pointing down. Keep the legs straight and open the hips. So kind of play with this rotation of the femur bone rolling in, the knee and toe point down, and then opening up. External rotation. Try not to let that bottom knee turn. It stays forward. You're just playing with that rotation in that top leg. Bring your right leg all the way to the top of the mat. Lunge. And the back knee comes down. And we'll have the back knee down a little bit, so if you need that padding, bring it back under. So hands right under your shoulders here. You might like your blocks. Scooch the back knee back so you're pretty long in your stride. And just start with a few rounds like this. So inhale the heart forward. Exhale, half splits. Pull the hips back. Try to keep that natural curve in the low back so you're not rounding. You're reaching your bum up. Inhale, lunge. Heart forward, nice strong belly. So play with your belly staying strong, but the ribs can touch the thighs, the front thigh. So I'm trying to kind of keep this connection like there's a paper between my leg and my ribs. Now you're gonna lift the heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, half, like a floating half split. Let the arms come out or behind you. And you can have the hands down if you need to. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, floating half splits. Inhale, back to the low lunge. This time, stay here with this front leg. Tuck the toe, lift the back thigh as you bow in. So it looks like this. Inhale, low lunge, arms go up. Exhale, like a floating crescent pose, lift the back thigh. So we're going to combine the two. Inhale, low lunge, half split, leave the knee down. Inhale, low lunge, floating crescent, pick the back knee up. So keep playing with that. Inhale, low lunge, half splits. And don't worry too much if you're messing up. Inhale, low lunge, floating crescent. And maybe one more. Just trying to move with your breath, not really using your brain too much. And the next time you're in that floating crescent, stay there. Take your left hand to the floor or your block, twist. Right arm up to the sky. Hug the outer hips towards each other. Pull the ribs in the body. And see if you can twist just a little more. Get that top shoulder back. Get the bottom shoulder on the back plane of the body as well. Stretch your arms apart. Beautiful. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale. Make your way to plank pose. And just go a vinyasa, a yogi's choice vinyasa. So however you like. If you like playing with that arm, or if you want to do cat and cow, hip circles. We'll meet in down dog when you're ready, no rush. Take your left leg up to the sky. Inhale, spread the toes. Knee and toe point down. And then open your hip. Knee and toe point to the side of the room. And do that a few times and notice what the bottom leg wants to do. So try to keep that bottom leg super stable as you play with rotating the top leg. Try to keep your torso super stable as well. And then step through, left leg forward, back knee down. Just take that first breath to settle in. So scooch that back knee back, open the heart, inhale. Exhale, half splits, pull the toes back. Don't lock the knee. Couple more, like that, low lunge. Splits. Then add the arms going up. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, dig the heel down and forward as you float. Inhale, stretch the arms. You can play with the arms a little bit here. Exhale, make stuff up. Inhale, low lunge. This time, keep that front knee bent. Exhale, pick up the back knee, hover. Inhale, low lunge. We'll do one more like that. Exhale, crescent hover. And now playing with both. Inhale, low lunge, lift the heart. Half splits, pull the hips back. Inhale, low lunge, crescent hover, stretch the arms back. Inhale, low lunge, try not to go too fast. Exhale, half splits. Lift the arms, inhale, open the heart. Lift the back knee, exhale, hover. One more, big breath in. Exhale, half splits. Nice strong legs, inhale. And hover that back leg with the back knee, hover the torso. Stay here. Get ready to twist, right arm down. Left hand on the thigh or stretch it up to the sky. Get strong in the back thigh bone, pull it up towards the sky. Keep the ribs in the body. Check your front knee if it likes to widen, mine does. Really try to keep that knee right over the ankle foot, nice and stable. Try to twist in the upper back more. Both shoulders back, that bottom shoulder too. Look wherever feels good for your face, your head and neck. Good, unwind from here. Step your back foot forward, forward fold at the top of the mat. Just let your head dangle. Take a breath there. Check your feet out. Spread the toes. Four corners of the feet really anchoring into the earth. So big toe mound. Draw a diagonal line towards the outer heel and really suction cup those points down. Then pinky toe mound. Draw a diagonal to the inner heel. Suction those points down. Try to keep your arches pulling up into the leg. Reach your sit bones up. Keep your ribs on your body. So you're bending your knees as much as you need to get the rib cage on the thighs. Then sit the hips back like chair pose, but keep your ribs on your thighs. Stretch the arms forward. Exhale, fold back in. So just try to keep the ribs on the thighs this whole time. Inhale, sit back. Your torso is more parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold in. And try to play with the core strength. Is trying to keep this connection. Ribs on thighs. One more. Inhale. Exhale, bow in. Stay here. Then come into your tippy toes. So you're wearing high heels. Reach your heels as high as you can. Still, I'm playing with my ribs on the thighs, but bring your fingertips to the floor and kind of open your heart just a little bit. Now make your muscles really strong. Belly muscles push into the legs and play with balance. Maybe one hand comes up, two. For me, it's helpful to look a little bit forward. Some of you can reach up here. Just play with that. Nice. Good. Whew. Okay, let the heels come down. Inhale, chair pose. The torso comes off the legs. And push to standing. Whew. Shake it out a little bit. And just take a moment to pause here. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, checking in. Nice deep breath in. We pause in stillness to soften and feel. Feel sensation in the body. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. Maybe you feel the air on your skin.
The cat was locked out.
And then from here, we'll play with balance. So come to the top of the mat. I'm going to actually face you, but you can be at the top of the mat. And then tree pose. So shift your weight to the left. Pick up your right foot, either bringing it to the calf, or you can reach down, grab your ankle, and pull your foot above your knee, so the inner thigh. So just play with balance there, and feel free to do whatever you want with the arms. So hugging in, stretch your knee wide, and then cactus the arms. Take a breath in. And then try to keep your pelvis pointing forward, but you're gonna twist your ribs towards the knee. So twist your ribs to the right. From here, we're gonna move into half moon pose. So you can kind of let your foot go. Try to stay with this kind of open shape as you transition. And falling is no big deal. Let's just play. You might need your block there under your hand. I do. Lots of wobbling in that bottom leg is fine. It means it's building strength. So once you find your half moon pose, stay there. Make sure that front knee and toe are pointing forward. If it had a little bit of a turn in when you transition, just try to fix it. Stretch that top arm forward so you have this big long line. Bend the bottom knee. Move your bottom hand back towards the foot, and then slowly make your way to side angle pose with as much control as possible. Your hand can stay on the block or bring it to the thigh. And if you didn't quite make it, just take your time getting there. So checking that your shin is right in that ankle foot. Watch out for whatever your foot tendencies are to roll in or roll out. Just do your best to try to keep it right in the center. Big stretch through that top arm. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. Good. Inhale, warrior two. So we're gonna play with just the pelvis. I like to forget about the arms. If you wanna leave the arms up, that's fine. Try to play with just the pelvis moving from a warrior two leg towards a triangle leg. And you'll just kind of go in and out of that. Inhale, bending, warrior two. Exhale, towards triangle. And so what I've been playing with in my body is trying to keep the spine and the core really stable. So that doesn't have a lot of movement. It's just in the pelvis. So I kind of think about my tailbone reaching back towards the heel, and then trying to keep that knee forward, not roll in. If you want to start to add the arms, so what I don't want to see is this sort of side bending, which we do sometimes, but I want it to just kind of be in the hips. So play with that. A little micro bend in that back knee might help too. And if you do want to add the arms, bring it all the way back to reverse warrior and triangle. You can play with the breath there. Inhale. Exhale. Nice, you guys. And next time you're in triangle, stay there for an extra breath. Take a big inhale into the upper shoulder, that right chest. And then exhale, pull the bottom rib towards that top hip. And hopefully you'll feel the core strength there. Unwind into that twisted lunge. So nice and slow, both hands to the floor, lift your back heel, and the left arm goes up to the sky. Bring the back knee down. Keep the twist. Lift your heart. Inhale. Bring the left hand to the low back, so like a reverse twisted lunge, low lunge. And some of you might like to reach towards the calf there. And from here, go into the twisted prayer. So nice and slow, you're just trying to keep the twist the whole time. Let your elbow come towards that knee. If you want to come back to this one with your arms apart, that's fine too. If you've got the prayer twist, stabilize the hips, pull the ribs in. Try to twist your upper back and chest. Big breath into the back side of the body, from the pelvis all the way up through the neck and the crown. Exhale down the front side of the body. And a slow unwind. Take a yogi choice vinyasa. which could be anything you want here. Just move with your breath. Take a couple rounds of breath, inhaling. Try not to have so much of a plan, I have to do this. Just see what your body naturally wants to do in this little moment of choice. And then we'll meet in dolphin pose. So forearms to the floor. Make sure your elbows are right under the shoulders. If you like clasping your fingers or prayer hands, I like prayer hands, or palms down if you want to play with that. And then when you're ready, tuck your toes, lift your hips, dolphin pose. So being really strong in the shoulders, we're trying to work shoulder flexibility. Bend your knees, don't worry about straight legs. You bend your knees so you can really tilt your pelvis up to the sky. And if you want more, you can start to walk in and you try to keep reaching your hips up, 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 up. But don't worry about straightening the legs. We're working shoulder strength and flexibility, not so much the legs. And take a rest whenever you need to. If you like to take a leg up to the sky, you're welcome to play with that here as well. Beautiful. Yeah, child's pose when you're ready. Nice, you guys. And then making your way to the top of the mat, however you get there, step or jump. Just always reconnecting with your feet, your foundation into the earth. Come way up onto the tippy toes again. So you're bending your knees, ribs on the thighs, reach the pelvis up. Look forward just a little bit. That just helps with the balance for me. And squeeze your belly muscles into the thighs. So play a balance here. Or you can also come back to that more of a chair shape, but keep the heels lifted. Play with balance there. Lots of ankle strength for that. And then let the heels come down. Regular chair pose. Stretch the arms up. One giant breath in. Make the legs strong. Exhale, stand tall, mountain pose. One giant breath in. Try not to lock the knees. Just take a moment to arrive here. Long exhale, breathe down the front of the body. Do it again. Inhale up the back side. Exhale, pouring down the front. And get ready for tree pose on the second side. Lift and spread the toes. Shift your weight to the right, or just make sure you're doing your second side, left leg up. So again, you're nice and wide. Really want to play with opening this left knee super wide. Hug the pelvis in so you're nice and stable. And wherever you want the foot, not on the joint, calf or thigh. If you're getting the foot higher, start to play with squeezing this knee joint closed this way and hugging in this way. And then cactus arms when you're ready. And without moving the pelvis too much and the legs, start to twist the chest towards the knee. And then from here, you're going to open that side up. Your chest is already wide. Get ready to go into half moon. So your chest is already open, and just play with kind of floating that leg back, eventually landing in half moon pose. And then checking that bottom foot, if you had any turning in, just make sure you correct it, knee and toe point forward, nice and strong. You don't have to straighten this bottom leg. It's fine to bend it, just keep the knee pointing forward. And looking down, or if you want to open the chest a little more, stretch the left arm up. Reach the top arm forward. I just like that as a break. It kind of helps slow down when you're stepping back. So bend the bottom leg, step the hand back towards the foot, and slowly reach your leg and arm apart as you land in side angle pose. So hand under your shoulder, elbow on the thigh. Inhale to warrior two. So this is where we're playing with the pelvis. So warrior two leg, triangle leg. And I'm working really hard to keep the low back in its natural curve. And really trying to let the mobility and lubrication come from the pelvis, which a lot of us are really tight in our pelvis and rounding in our back. So we're trying to unlock that. And then if you're really mobile in the low back, ribs in the body, keep it stable. And then if you want to add the arms, it's a reverse warrior, triangle. And then hold the triangle pose next time you're there, just for an extra breath. Nice strong legs, big breath into that top shoulder. Pull the ribs towards the hips. Nice strong core, stretch the legs apart. Unwinding into that twisted lunge. Left hand to the floor, lift the back heel so you're nice strong in the legs. Right arm opens, twist. Back knee down. Keep the twist. Inhale, lift your chest. Either stay here or hand on the low back. Imagine like a reverse, a little bit of a leaning back. Hand can go on the calf, or you can have your block there. Lean back a little. So I'm staying really strong in my belly to keep my low back stable. Try to open the chest and upper back. And this is a pretty giant one for that quad there on the bottom. So keep this twist as you come into twisted prayer. Hands at the heart, elbow to the thigh. Twist. Or you're back to this one. Hand on the floor. Outer hips hug towards each other. Drag the feet towards each other too. Pull the ribs in the body, and then try to open the heart and the upper back. So from like the middle back up, you're trying to twist. Here's a good place to play with that rib on the thigh and really squeezing the belly muscles into the thigh. Try to keep this tight connection here, and then open just the upper back more. Beautiful, very nice, good. Okay, slow unwind. Once again, a yogi's choice vinyasa. This time meet me on your belly, so however you get there. So take your forehead to the floor, Your arms straight out so the pinky is like karate chopping into the floor and the thumbs are pointing up. Pretend you're wearing jeans and you button your pants and zip them up. So that's that deep, strong belly, the front line there. And then it's a cross crawl. So we did this on our hands and knees earlier. Lift your left leg and your right arm. And then exhale to back off. Inhale, right leg, left arm. And exhale to switch. So go at your own pace. Really think about keeping the front body strong, but you're trying to strengthen the muscles in the back. I like to use the bottom hand a little bit. I kind of karate chop it down to help me lift the heart just a tiny bit more. And then give it a rest when you've had enough. Wiggle the hips. Bend your right knee and reach back with the right hand. So a couple ways to play with this quad stretch here. So pulling the heel towards your bum, bend the elbow, but really get the shoulder back. So some of you, your head might want to stay down. Some of you can lift the heart and even come back to the arm forward and taking the arm up by your ear. If you're bringing the arm up by your ear, you might want to start to play with kicking the foot back. That'll help open the chest. Try not to lock the elbow. Again, I like to use this bottom hand just to help lift my heart a little bit, and then I lift it. And one last step if you want to lift that other leg, so the other leg's floating. So a couple places, working here, or you kick it back a little, or it's like locust in that other side. Half locust, half bow. And then once again, rest. Make a pillow with your hands, shake it out a little bit. Big breath in, feel your belly relax. So you just had to hold the strength of your core to work that back bend. So when you're resting, really try to let your belly be soft. And then second side. So bend the left leg, pulling the heel in towards your bum. Really getting the shoulder back, even if your head's down. Part one. Or you kick the foot back, more like bow. Button your pants, zip them up. Straight arm if you like. Hovering the arm, or hovering the leg, or both. That's a lot of back strength. Keep your front body engaged, your core, just keep reminding. Strong belly, it's so hard when you're in a back bend. Rest when you need rest. We'll do one more dolphin pose here. So come up to hands and forearms and knees. And feel free to rest right here if you need a rest, or take one more dolphin pose. If you are somewhere where you can do L shape and walk your feet up the wall and you want to play with that, feel free to do that now. Or you're here, dolphin, bend the knees, but reach your hips up. Really work the wrists and forearms pushing down into the earth. Get so long in your side body. I like to do like one side long, then the other. My ribs are trying to push towards my thighs as I walk in. Maybe one leg up. Feel free to bend the knees, play. If you like to hop, hop. And rest when you need rest. All right, so from here, come onto your back. If you have your strap, get that nearby. Just take the first breath to kind of arrive, landing. Maybe windshield wiper the knees. Or pull the knees in, rock around a little bit. And then bring your feet to the floor. Take the right leg up to the sky. The strap will go around the foot. Do your best to have the ankle over the hip. So we're not pulling the leg towards us. For this, you're trying to bring that whole weight of the leg deeper into the hip socket and the pelvis. So I want the natural curve in my low back here. My pelvis is heavy. My shoulders are anchored. And then if you want to take this bottom leg straight, do it slow. So pull your toes up towards you on that bottom leg. And slowly slide, like drag the heel, just really slowly towards a straight leg. And then push your thigh bone down, push the heel down, and try to keep the pelvis nice and stable. So when I'm here, I like to have one strap in each hand. And if you want to play with any little variations here, feel free. Maybe point and flex. But working on the stability of the pelvis, take both straps into the right hand, reach as far as you can, and slowly take that right leg over to the right. So you'll find a spot where the left hip starts to lift up. That's where you stop. Pretend somebody's standing on your thigh bone. And maybe you like the bent leg, and that's helpful. Keep pushing into the strap as you go wider. Keep your right shoulder hugging into the body. Push your foot into the strap. Pull the strap towards you. Pull that leg bone in towards your body. Exhale, bring that leg back to center. And start to twist, so switch hands. Go really slow, so take it just a couple inches across the midline first. Bring your right thumb into the hip crease and kind of push that thigh bone away as you start to twist. And something I usually ask you not to do is sickle the foot. But just right here for a second, play with pointing your toes towards the floor. It's just a little bit more of a stretch for me in the outer thigh, so you can play with it. And it's okay, because it's not weight bearing on the foot, so you're not going to hurt the ankle too much. And you can keep rolling all the way onto your left hip. If you like to bend that bottom leg and grab, you're welcome to play with that. Nice big breath into the belly, the lungs, and the heart. Exhale. And back to center, super slow. And let your leg come down. Just take a second to feel the difference in right and left sides of the body. And then bend the leg, so you'll start the same way, left leg up. So ankles over the hip. I'm thinking about anchoring this thigh bone down. So this, I mean, you feel it in your leg, but we're trying to kind of reset the back. And it's like a low back, like a back care for your low back. So it should make your low back feel better. Like if you ever have soreness in your low back, this sort of work will help with that. And then pull the right toes back, slowly drag your heel with your legs super strong and stable towards straight. And then whatever movement you like with the foot or the ankle, never locking the knee. Ground the shoulders, ground the pelvis. Start to take it to the left when you're ready. And just try to get super curious about that point when you like to, when your hip wants to lift up, and just really slow down in that spot and play with that rather than just trying to shoot your leg out to the side as far as you can. Really take your time and kind of micromanage the deeper muscles of the body and the pelvis. The psoas is the deepest muscle in your body. It's attached to your kind of middle back, and it goes through the belly and attaches to the top of the leg. So this is a really great stretch for that muscle, but you don't necessarily feel it. It's kind of this super deep muscle that is hard to find. But if you're super slow and mindful, you are working that deep muscle. So when you're ready, coming back to center, again, slow. Take it across the midline just a couple inches. Switch the hands of the strap. So I'm pretty open in my hamstrings. I tend to bring the leg towards me. It's a lot of work for me to keep it more in line with the hip, but that's what I do want. And then just play with this sort of turning the toes towards the floor, just a little bit. And you can keep going, going, going. Once you're here, if you want to let the strap go, or if you prefer to bend this knee. So just taking any twist variation that you like. Nice big breath. And then be really slow and steady about coming back to center. And once again, give it a shake or just a pause and feel. So that little leg sequence can be really good for, like, if you've been gardening. Whenever I garden, I tend to get sore in my low back. So this leg sequence we do with the strap is very good for low back pain. So one more, take a symmetrical pose of your choice. If you want to play with this strap here, you can do sort of this, like what would be legs up the wall, but you've got your strap. You could also take it wide into a straddle, like if your strap's longer. So, or a happy baby here, just kind of, if you like to rock around a little bit, just do your last little couple wind down poses that you need in your body. And then getting yourself ready for Shavasana when you're ready. If you like to have props, please use them. A blanket rolled up under your knees, an eye pillow over your eyes, blanket over your body. Make sure you're warm for Shavasana, so if you need to put layers on. Relax your fingers and toes. And give yourself any last little wiggles and let your bones settle. Bring your attention to your pelvis and breathe in through the whole back side of the body, up the upper back and skull. And let your exhale pour down the front of the body, all the way down towards the pelvic bowl. Relax the muscles around your eyes and lips. Unhinge your jaw, soften your tongue. Letting go into stillness. Resting in Shavasana. Breathe into your belly, your lungs, and your heart. As you exhale, gently bring movement back to the body. Wiggle fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead. Take a lazy stretch. And bend your knees, rest on your side, and stay there for at least 1 or 2 breath cycles. And lovingly, with so much care, gently bring yourself back to seated, sitting tall. And take a moment to feel the effects of your practice. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings live with love and ease. And may all beings benefit from your yoga practice. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.